Hey Nash, what should we make?
Why don't you make Gordon Ramsay's famous Welly sauce?
But you can't even eat that sauce.
True, but I know if you make the sauce, then you'll have to make a Wellington to put it on, and I can eat that.
All right, let's make Gordon Ramsay's Beef Wellington sauce. Today, we're making Gordon Ramsay's famous Demi-Glace sauce. It is the sauce. If you're familiar with Gordon Ramsay, you probably know he's got a lot of famous stuff. But if you had to pick one dish, the thing he's most famous for, his signature dish would be his Beef Wellington. So this is the sauce that he uses on his Beef Wellington. And if you go to probably not any of, but most of his restaurants do serve his signature Beef Wellington in a sort of individual serving. And this is the sauce that goes with it. I recently did try it for the first time. I've watched it, I've made it, it's delicious, but I have to say my expectations were high. It was amazing. And the sauce did not disappoint. So I was gonna do this sauce as part of another video, but I decided this sauce deserves its own video. This is the Gordon Ramsay Demi-Glace sauce for the Beef Wellington, but you could also use it on just about anything. It's freaking delicious. So without further ado, let's go. So the first step in this sauce is get a fairly large pan. I'm using cast iron, nice and hot. I have it on medium-high heat. I've had it heating up for a little bit. So you're gonna wanna put technically the trimmings from whatever beef cut you're using for this Wellington, if that's what you're doing. But since we're just doing this as kind of an aside, like a separate side piece, kind of a sauce, just any sort of beef trimmings if you have them. You could skip this step, but I'm not trying to skip any steps here for this. Here is just some beef trimmings. And our goal here is to just cook these beef trimmings until they're nicely seared on all sides, cooked through, and then we're gonna remove the trimmings, do what you want with those. Nash will probably get a nice treat out of this, but ultimately what we want is everything that the beef leaves behind, those juices, the rendered fat and all that, because that's gonna help make the base of our sauce. While our beef trimmings are cooking, we are going to slice 4 large shallots, or I guess whatever size you can get. Now we're gonna end up straining this, so the size you chop these into doesn't really matter. You just wanna kind of chop them to open them up a little bit to allow more flavor to get into that sauce. After a few minutes on each side, when your meat is nicely cooked, we're just gonna go ahead and pull this out and then leave all the jus. So now that we have this beautiful little au jus that we've made, this is gonna be the base of our sauce. Now keeping this on medium-high heat, we're going to pour in our shallots, along with 12 whole black peppercorns, 1 bay leaf, unless your bay leaves are a little sad and broken. I'm just gonna use, I don't know, 2.5 sad ones, and a sprig of thyme. And then we're just going to cook this all for about 5 minutes. But basically we're looking for these shallots to start to get kind of golden brown and a little bit crispy. We want to get all those flavors in here. Once our shallots are getting a little crispy, just kind of stir everything together there. Then we're just going to give this a splash of red wine vinegar. Then we're just going to let that bubble until the pan is almost dry, aka the red wine vinegar is almost gone. When your red wine vinegar is almost gone, we're gonna add a bottle of red wine. It's not really specified what type, but according to my knowledge, I would say like a Merlot or a Cab would probably be the best. We're using a Cab. We're just gonna stir this up, and then we're going to let this cook, boil, simmer, depending on how long you want it to take, until the wine is reduced to almost nothing. This part's gonna take a little while. When your wine is reduced to almost nothing, now we add in a quart of beef stock. If you've made your own, that would obviously be best, but store-bought is fine. As soon as this comes back up to a full rolling boil, we want to turn your heat all the way down, stir everything around a little bit, and then let it simmer for an hour.
1 hour later.
When our sauce has been simmering for an hour, we're probably somewhere right around where we want to be. And throughout this process, you want to just kind of pay attention maybe not consistently, but every few minutes, just check. And if there's any sort of scum accumulating on top, which would be like some sort of fat or whatever, you want to skim that off. So that being said, we're pretty much where we want to be. So let's go ahead and kill the heat. So now we're going to strain our sauce through a strainer. We want all the flavor just sort of concentrated into a smooth sauce. Then we have our strained sauce. So now we're just going to sort of pour it in here. Now keep in mind, as this cools, it's going to thicken. That's kind of what we're looking for. I would say time for a bite, but that's not the right terminology here. I know this is just a sauce, so similar to like sriracha or kimchi. We'll do the taste. Cheers. Holy shit, that's amazing. I mean, the depth of flavor that we got. I know it took us hours to cook, so yes, I can't do like hashtag easy recipe on this one. I was trying to be very true to form with Gordon's recipe. It's freaking amazing sauce. I would literally just take pieces of bread and dip it in here. That's how good this shit is. That being said, thanks for watching. If you could like and subscribe and share the show, I would really appreciate it. If you want to get notified every time we drop a new video, go ahead and hit that notification bell. If there's anything you want me to make, you want me and Nash to taste, drop that in the comments. Like I say, if it's realistic, we'll make it. Just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. That's it for now. Until next time, folks. Peace.